Hey there, this is Lynn. Today is Weigh-In Monday, and it's a little bit later in the day. I'm getting a late start on getting my video done, so sorry about that. But last week I just did a live. I didn't do a regular video because I was on Fox Island. Dave and I were there for our anniversary, and it was really great because I had booked it for 2 nights, and we got there Sunday, and it was Monday afternoon, and we're like, man, we feel like we just got here and tomorrow we're supposed to check out. So I messaged the Airbnb owner and said, hey, is it possible to stay another night? And she said, yeah, absolutely. And then she said, and how about if we gift you a fourth night as an anniversary gift? So we ended up staying until Thursday. And so I was, we had a wonderful time, and it was beautiful, and it was awesome just to go and explore the island, and we just had a really nice time. And it was an Airbnb where we were able to bring Max, and Max, he's 16 now, and he gets really anxious when we're not with him and we leave him. And so it was great that we could bring our dog, and they had a cute dog named Jackson, and Max and Jackson initially kind of did a little growling at each other, but then they hung out and they were fine, and just had an absolutely wonderful time. Dave spoiled me, and he fed me a lot. He cooked the whole time, and he cooked large quantities. So today's weigh-in was very interesting. One thing I did find out when I stepped on the scale this morning, I have my smart scale. It asked me, is this really you? And I thought, okay, wait a minute, that's weird. The only reason it asked me that is if someone else has stepped on the scale that weighs significantly different than I do, or if it's been a long, long time and it just doesn't recognize that it's still me. So of course I said, yes, it's me. And then I looked back at last week's weigh-in to find out, well, why would it say that? And I had reported that I weighed in at 137.2 or 0.4 or something like that last week, which was a little bit of a gain. I must have put the 3 in there because the scale actually said 207.4 or something like that. 207. And then none of the metrics were there. So I don't know what happened, but I have nothing really to go on from last week. So I'm comparing my metrics this week to my metrics from 2 weeks ago, which makes them even worse. But this past week, we were on a little trip. Dave, I stayed carnivore, but man, Dave fed me a lot, and I was, still eating cheese. I was like, I'm going to just let myself keep eating cheese for a while, and that's going to stop. But anyways, we had a great time, and we love to go geocaching when we go someplace new. And so I'll show you a little bit of video and of just some videos of our time there, and then I'll come back. This is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
We're in the middle of a rainforest with a boardwalk.
It's a natural boardwalk.
Yeah, that's right. Amazing, this is 10 minutes from our home.
That's right, aren't we lucky? We live in God's paradise.
Yes,
So
true.
I don't know if you could see it any other way than that.
Oh, there's a big hole in the middle of that log.
Uh-huh.
Stump.
Yeah. I wonder if Tom would let us put a geocache here. I bet you he would.
Inside?
That would bring geocachers, which would bring admission fees, which would bring... Sure.
Yeah, but it would have to be like a little magnetic micro that goes
Yeah.
under a bench or something.
Right,
Or,
right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, so this is Bella Bella. Is this a park or this is a sand spit, basically, at the very tip of Fox Island. We got someone out there kayaking. And the sand spit goes all the way out there. We're gonna walk out there.
Pretty nice.
There's Maxie. All right, we're at the very end of this sand spit. There's a couple sitting over there. The lady's reading. Okay. But this is actual sand, which is not super common in the Pacific Northwest. We have a few sandy beaches, but not much. Got some people with their boats over there. There's the bridge to get onto the island. It's an overcast day today, which is actually great for me. Dave likes to pick up shells and he likes to pick up little pieces of driftwood. But yeah, very nice. Okay, I just walked from the very bottom there up this hill and I'm not too winded. I am a little winded, but I wouldn't have been able to do that before. That would have been way too much. There's a steep, it kind of, when you see the very end there, it actually drops off real steep over that horizon. So I did pretty well. So now I gotta walk way up this way. And fortunately it has kind of a little path that goes back and forth. So it's not super bad, but our car's parked up there. So here I go. All right, I did it. I'm a little out of breath, but I can't really see, but that grassy area, that's where I was at the last video. Just got up the hill. At least it doesn't scare me now. It used to scare me before. There was a part down where the grassy area is where there was a little gate. I could have asked Dave to come out to the parking lot and drive down and get me. In the past, I would have done that, but I can actually handle it now. Being out of breath is not bad. I can still talk, so that's good. So awesome, non-scale victory. Okay, I'm back. So I'm so glad that stamina-wise, I'm doing so much better. I mean, the last time I tried to trek up a decent sized hill was last time we had gone, I videotaped us geocaching and we had gone to do that really cool cache in that cemetery. And there was a really steep hill there and it was a struggle. This time going up the two decent sized hills, I did pretty well. Like the recovery time was practically nothing. So I'm really glad that I was able to see some progress when it comes to my stamina and my physical ability. So that's really encouraging for me. So let's see what else from last week. So I ate, like I said, I ate a lot this last week. But I was also eating cheese. I was eating bacon and eggs. I was having cream and drinking coffee. And so, yeah, I gained weight and I don't know for sure if it's the cheese or if it's the quantity or whatever it is, but I'm going to suspect that it's the cheese because even though I did have a drop in weight a couple weeks ago, I had a drop in weight. It's just not what it was. And things are going up and down, up and down, and up and down. And the only thing I can say is that it's the introduction of cheese. I'm so sad because it's obvious that cheese creates a stall for me and I feel like I need a reset because I think that the cheese, and I mentioned this before, that I think the cheese has triggered cravings for me and it's making me crave more cheese. But that's not good. And I was not struggling with any cravings before. And now I'm craving more than just meat. And I really do think it's the cheese. So I'm probably going to have to go through like I did at the beginning when I was first on the carnivore diet and go through that phase where you're kind of withdrawing and getting over your food cravings. I did this to myself. So it is what it is. I'm going to have to push myself and go through it again and get to the place where I'm not craving cheese anymore, and then pick back up, hopefully, and continue to lose the weight. I'm glad I actually feel good. Like my gut hasn't been causing me problems. And I think that's one reason why I keep going, oh yeah, let's eat some more cheese, because my gut is feeling okay. And I'm doing so much better with foods that have a little bit of histamine. And it's been nice. But again, it's the psychological thing. It's like being happy about being able to eat those foods. And when it comes to eating and happiness, it's steering away from the concept that you eat to live. And it's not the food that's supposed to bring me happiness. And so I'm falling back into that trap of finding pleasure and happiness in food. And that's what got me into the big mess that I was in with my weight. So it's really important that I get it back on track. Hit that reset button. So before I get on to my metrics, just a couple things. So the Dr. Chafee interview did not happen. He emailed me and said, oops, we're traveling. I don't know why my calendar showed me as available this date. And so he sent me the link to his calendar again, and I signed up for another date. It's not till October 27th. I could have gone sooner, but every single interview date he has is 5 a.m. my time. And I'm so nervous about not waking up in time that I know that I would just not sleep. And that would not be good. I would not end up doing well. So I found one Sunday evening, 7 p.m. my time, that was available on his schedule. And so that's what I scheduled for, so that I know I'll be awake, I'll be ready. And so, but again, it's another delay. Hopefully third time's a charm, because he had to postpone after I scheduled the first time because he was traveling. So we'll see. Eventually it'll happen. I'm not too worried about that, but it's just pushing it out a little bit further. Been very busy with Healing Humanity, working on the membership site, building courses for the membership site that people have submitted. So we have not officially launched. We're still in beta testing phase, but you can join and check it out. It's, healinghumanity.life. I'll put a link in my description. And we're kind of getting the feel and getting the hang and trying to, figure out how to do this membership site thing. We've got Zoom calls. We have a Zoom call coming up this week with Dr. Nelson. So that'll be really good. If you don't know Dr. Nelson, check him out. So it's going well, but it's keeping me pretty busy. And, I'm doing my keto study group on Thursday. We're doing our book club on Sunday. I'm doing my fitness challenge live stream with Lindy on Fridays. So I'm busy, and I'm working on the next set of books that Amy Hosp and I are doing for Dr. Barry. We're going to do a set of mystery books about the carnivore diet. And so I have our other two books. I'll show them again. I know I like to show them. Okay, so we have the comic book, coloring and activity book that we made, and some proceeds from this book are going to the Healing Humanity documentary. This is for younger kids and up to probably middle school. And then we have the storybook, the Sugar QB, the Sugar Monster, and the Superhuman Power Foods for Humanity. So we still have our little superheroes, the beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. And this is a storybook starring Dr. Barry's children and Granny Barry. And some of the proceeds from this book are going to the American Diabetes Society that he is starting. And so he's asked us to write a series of mystery books. So we're working on that. So I'm pretty excited. And I also this doesn't have anything to do with carnivore, but my husband wrote a devotional book over the past year. He finished it in April. So, but we turned it into a book. And so I just got that submitted for publishing, and that's going to be available as well. He wrote it for our kids, for our adult kids, but it'll be on Amazon. It's called No Be Do, and it has to do with it's a devotional. So, the section is what we should know. He read a passage of scripture, what we should know, what this tells us about how we should be, and then what we should do and response. And so this is just every day he does this no be do, and it's from his heart. And so he wrote this for our kids. And so I just got done publishing it. So hopefully we're going to order a copy once it's approved for publishing, make sure everything looks good, and then it'll be out there. So he has another book that he wrote. I have 4 coloring books that I wrote, one children's coloring book and 3 adult coloring books that I wrote that are on Amazon. So we love to write. I like art, but I like writing too, and we like to publish things. And it's a legacy that you leave for your kids, right? And brings in a little bit of money, so that's good. Okay, all right. So on to my results for this week. So I didn't even include last week's results. So I'm comparing this to 2 weeks ago. So I weighed in this morning at 238.6, which is 1.8 pounds higher than I was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I had a little bit of a drop in my weight. But before that, I've been going up and down for maybe a month now at least. And I feel like I understand why I gained this past week, because I ate a lot, and I ate a lot of cheese, and I did get exercise, but everything that I have been reading in our book club is that exercise really isn't going to help you lose weight. So I do have to get the cheese out of my life. Anyways, it's sad for me, but those of you who can eat cheese, I'm really jealous. My husband can eat cheese, not me. So I'm still doing okay, but I'm just irritated now because the visceral fat went back up to 18. It has been bouncing back and forth between 17 and 18, 17 and 18. It's back up to 18. Not surprised, because I gained some weight. My fat-free body weight stayed exactly the same. My muscle mass and bone mass stayed exactly the same. Even my BMR stayed exactly the same, which is interesting because that usually changes proportionate to whether my weight goes up or down. So that was interesting. My metabolic rate did not go up when my weight went up. Maybe it is the exercise. I don't know. So maybe that is a benefit from the exercise I've been getting. This is the first time I've seen that happen. Usually what I see happen is if my weight goes down, my BMR, my basal metabolic rate, goes up. And the inverse. If my weight goes up, my BMR goes down. This time it stayed exactly the same. So that's just a curiosity for me. I'm not going to draw any conclusions. It's just a curiosity because I haven't seen that before. But otherwise, it's just a very, very boring week as far as metrics go. So because of the fact that my good tissue, the fat-free body weight, stayed exactly the same, that means that my entire scale gain was fat gain. So if you've been around for a while, you know that if I gain fat for good tissue, that kind of offsets. If I have gained fat, it'll offset it. Or if I've lost fat on the scale, it'll make my fat loss even more if I've actually gained good tissue. So this time, an absolute 0 as far as gaining or losing good tissue. And that includes no water gain as far as I can see. So hopefully next week we're going to have some better results. But I guess I can be grateful, and I always try to find something to be grateful and try to see the silver lining around it. I feel grateful that I feel good. I haven't been having any mast cell activation reactions, which is great, which may be one reason why I'm now struggling with food when I haven't struggled in the past. It's very extreme when you eat something and your throat swells, or you have other type of reactions and heart palpitations and all sorts of things. Now that I'm eating, I can eat things and I don't have a reaction, I think it makes it a little more challenging. So I'm just going to have to get the psychological part of it worked out. I'll be okay. But I am grateful that I feel good, incredibly grateful that I feel good. And I'm grateful that I didn't gain more than I did. I mean, less than 2 pounds, that's not horrible. So I'm not thrilled, but it's not horrible. I can work with that. It probably won't be too much effort, hopefully, too much effort to get it back going in the right direction. Okay, so that is it for this week. And I hope I'm going to have some fantastic results for next week. We shall see. But I hope everyone's having an absolutely wonderful day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.